Again, I am here to explain the basics of chemistry, or we can say learn to love chemistry. In my first part, matter was explained. In second part, I'll try to explain more about matter and the word which is called an element. As I have told, all the substances around us, they exist in 3 states. And do you know from which thing all these substances are made up of? All these substances are made up of elements. And ultimately, these elements are made up of atoms, which we call the building blocks of matter. These elements are classified into 3 types of substances, that are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. It is right to say that all substances around us may be solid, liquid, and gaseous in state. They may be metal, non-metal, and metalloid. Let us take one example of an element, silver. Silver, you know. Silver is an element. It's a metal. It exists in a solid state. It's made up of silver atoms. Mercury, it is an element. It is a metal. It exists in a liquid state and it is made up of mercury atoms. Nitrogen. Nitrogen is an element. It is non-metal. It exists in a gaseous state and it is made up of nitrogen atoms. Only atoms of particular element make it different from others. Approximately 118 elements are known today, and according to their atomic structure, these elements are arranged in a well-planned table called the periodic table, and it is convenient or easy to study each element in detail that you will study in higher classes. The word you should know, periodic table, in which all elements are arranged in a groups and the periods, according to their characteristics, according to their similarity, according to their dissimilarities. Let you know one thing more, that most of these elements do not exist independently. They have tendency to combine with other elements in a definite proportion by mass to form a new substance called compound. And this compound, this is a new word for you after the element. A compound is a substance which is made up of 2 or more than 2 elements, or we can say it is a transformed form of an element. As I have told so many times that what is chemistry? It is a study of transformations. It is a study of transformations and how the compounds are formed. When 2 or more than 2 elements are combined in a definite proportion by mass, or we can say chemically combined, then a compound is formed. Let us take one example, ammonia. Ammonia is a compound. It is made up of 2 elements, that is nitrogen and hydrogen. It exists independently. It exists in gaseous state. Next example, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a compound. It is made up of 2 elements, sodium and chlorine. Earlier, sodium exists in a solid state, chlorine exists in a liquid state. When they both combine in a definite proportion by mass, then sodium chloride is formed. Sodium chloride is a compound. Let us grab more knowledge about an element. You know, all the elements have their short name or short form, which we call symbol. Means elements are represented by symbols and molecules and compounds are represented by formula. Here you learn 2 new words, symbol and formula. Symbol is used for elements and it is a short form of a particular element. and formula is the short form of molecule and a compound. Now see about the pure and impure substances. They are also related to the basics of chemistry. In the terms of chemistry, pure means that it is made up of atoms, it is made up of elements. Now it is very easy to make you understand. Atoms, element, molecules, compounds, they all are pure substances. They all are pure substances because they are made up of atoms, which is a pure kind of the matter. Now come to the impure substance. Impure substance in the term of chemistry is a mixture. Either it is a homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous means thoroughly mixed and heterogeneous means not thoroughly mixed. For example, in case of impure substances, in which I have said about the mixture, let us take the example of cold drink. Let us take an example of milk. Let us take an example of lemonade. They are homogeneous mixture. They are homogeneous mixture. And let us take the example of namkeen. Now pure and impure substances are clear to you. Pure substances means atoms, elements, compounds and molecules, whereas impure substances are mixture. Maybe homogeneous, maybe heterogeneous. Let us take one example, very common example. Take iron powder and sulfur powder. Mix them well. Mix them well. It is impure substance. We know it is made up of two elements, pure elements, that is iron and sulfur. But we don't know the ratio, don't know the combining ratio. They are not combined in a definite proportion by mass, so it is a mixture. Now you heat that powder. Now heat that powder and they will combine, they will chemically combine. Means they will combine in definite proportion by mass to each other, so they form a compound. Then it becomes a pure substance. Then it's called iron sulfide. From iron and sulfur, iron sulfide is formed. This is the difference of pure and impure substance.